I think I got it. It's gonna be close. Welcome to the vlog, welcome to No Boring Days. Today we're gonna do something that I don't usually do. I'm gonna go to one of my favorite climbs. I'm gonna attempt a PR or PB, personal best. I might be able to get the PB because I am on my Canyon Inflite. It is much lighter than my Surly, so going up a climb should be an advantage. First, let's see how the legs feel. Warm up a little bit. So this is a climb called, I think the segment is called Pitos to Guba, something like that. And my previous best on this is about 29 minutes. My advantage when we did the previous best was that we were racing with the villain crew. So I had some extra motivation there. Today I am by my lonesome, but in theory I am fitter and the lighter bike should make a difference as well. So we'll see how that goes. And then I can get to the problem of like the Strava segments here in Cebu. But let's do this segment first. I think it's like a 7-kilometer climb. I'm not sure. I'll show it on the screen. Alright, let's go. I think I got it. It's gonna be close. Like 2 minutes before the end, my legs started to give way. Like I couldn't push anymore. Man. So that was really hard. Maybe I went a little bit too hard in the beginning, but like the last 2 minutes, I couldn't. There was nothing. Alright, let's see the results. Okay, so I'm back home. I did not get my personal best. Here it is. I got my second best time. I missed my personal best time by 7 seconds. Lesson here is that you're more motivated when you're racing your friends than when you have a lighter bike, or you're faster when you're more motivated. I don't know. Either way, I did not get my personal best today, but it was still a good effort on the bike though. And you know, comparing yourself to yourself is always fun. Even though myself was faster in March 2021 than today. But what can you do? It's warm. I'm gonna turn on the electric fan. It might be a bit noisier, but it's really warm. So just some context to the effort today. For today, I average 174 beats per minute. So the effort was there. I just was not fast enough. I think like 2 minutes before the actual finish line, my legs kind of gave way and I just couldn't push with much power anymore, and I suspect that slowed me down a lot. Maybe I put too much effort somewhere in the middle. Anyway, so one of the reasons why I really enjoy like the Strava top 10 segments, or looking at the Strava segments in general, is that number one, when I was starting out, when I was a new cyclist, I'm gonna drink this coffee, I did not know anybody in the cycling community. None of my friends biked. I was literally by myself. So what I did was, when I heard about Strava, I started looking at the segments, and there were people on the segments who did very interesting routes. So I'd look for a segment, I'd click on the person, probably in the top 10, and see what route they did. And that was one of the main ways that I discovered new routes. And now it's just fun, it's just fun to like occasionally hit a top 10 in a segment. I've tried getting a KOM in the segment, and I've also tried getting the dreaded notification when you lose the KOM, right? So I think it's fun. You don't have to take it seriously, but also it is a way to gauge yourself if you are getting better. So today, I did that climb that I've done a million times, and I fell short 7 seconds from March 2021. Kind of a bummer. You would think I got faster, but anyway, maybe it was a bad day. Maybe because I was wearing a t-shirt and it was a bit slower. Who knows? I have a lot of excuses. But one of the problems here in the Philippines in general with the way the Strava top 10 segments are done is that there's just a lot of people on motorcycles here. And there are definitely times where a guy turns on Strava, hops onto a motorcycle, and then just goes through all the segments just to get the KOM spot in all of those segments. And you can see that in many Strava segments all over. So there are certain popular Strava segments that, riders do get flagged. And I feel like if you are in the top 10 of a certain segment, especially if it is a popular segment, you are a very deserving person in that top 10. And it's nice to get that recognition every now and then. But it has to be said that there is a bit of a problem with people on motorcycles just grabbing KOMs. And sometimes I don't think they do it on purpose. Sometimes maybe they get tired, so they hop on a motorcycle with their bike, and then they just forget to turn off Strava. And then when they get home, they end the ride, and lo and behold, they are king of the mountain of a lot of segments. All of the segments on the way home. So that can be a little bit annoying. Just a little bit. But not life-threatening or anything. It's just a little annoying. For example, there's a segment here called Binaliw to Agsungot. And if you look at the top 10 list, it's a bunch of hitters. Like, so many strong cyclists. But about a couple of days ago, there was a guy who has a very questionable time on this segment. So the number 2 guy is this guy called Lex Diaz, super fast cyclist. His time at this particular segment is 12 minutes and 41 seconds. And it's fast. It's a climb. This segment is 3.22 kilometers and a 6.3% average gradient. Lex's time is 12 minutes and 41. And then number 1 is, I'm just gonna blur it out most likely, but he has a time of 5 minutes and 58 seconds. I find that very hard to believe. And I'm sure there are a lot of segments all over here in Cebu that has just motorcycles on it, particularly the main highway. Especially if it's not a climb, it gets more and more difficult to figure out who are cheating and who are not. Especially me, because I don't really know that many of the cyclists. I know a few, but I don't know a whole bunch of them. And there's a lot of fast guys here in Cebu. Dogs barking. Vlogger problems. Anyway, I'm gonna be joining a race this weekend. It's mostly climbing. I am not gonna do well. The big part of the race is from JY to Tops. It's probably the most popular climb here in Cebu. And frankly, I mean, it's not my favorite place to go, but it should be fun. Lots of really strong guys there. So at least I got a little bit of suffering done in the meantime. Speaking of exercise, I'm gonna try to convince these boys to exercise today. What are you guys doing today? You're exercising?
Yes, I'm exercising my arms.
Wait, let's pause this. How are you exercising your arms?
Like that. this is already the exercise that you're talking about.
Okay, that's the exercise? I thought you're gonna run. What are you doing?
And I just watch him because I'm just doing the exercise like free. I mean, I literally scheduled that.